Life. And she don't like how I respond, but it's easy.
All right, guys. Welcome in. You know what I'm saying, guys? Life and Times. You know what I mean, guys? Today marks a very special day. You know what I mean? We got him. He's here. You know what I mean? This is somebody I feel like, as far as I've been a photographer for a long time, you know, and I feel like this is the first person I think ever seen tell the truth about how you think, how the thought process is, like the ups and the downs. This is the most honest person when it comes to that realm. And I mean, and obviously he's a very respected, you know, photographer in himself. And even if you want to call him a photographer, I know he doesn't like it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this is just, you know, I don't even want to talk too much, man. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, man. You know?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know how I should start. My name's Jeremy Paige. I'm a picture taker. This sounds so fucking lame, dude.
Photo maker.
I'm a photo maker. I'm a picture taker. Feel me? Yeah, Jeremy Paige. I go by Eaten by Flowers.
That's also too, even to start there, that's a great moniker.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I get that question all the time. Like, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Is that where you're gonna go? Like, oh, how'd you get that name?
I feel like people have gone through it because people kind of like, that's just such a, as far as Instagram handles go and like what people like might just, you know, name the page. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a great fucking name. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure anyone could look it up, but if you want to give me the short version, that'd be great too.
Did you look it up?
I looked it up. I remember how you. I remember.
Oh, for real? You did?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
all right.
I know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And the video that I watched that you said it on had mad views. So I'm like,
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. As far as your written go, or like the interviews that you have out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean people eat that.
Yeah.
Up.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks, man. The show. I mean, I don't know. There's only really one version. It's pretty short as it is, but kind of when I started taking pictures was in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in Chicago at the time, and I was working at a florist. That's kind of what I wanted to do at one point. Like can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. I just wanted to.
Sure. Tell me if you can't.
Oh, no, you good.
I'll literally sit this bitch right in my lap.
No, you're good. I just wanted to like move it up a little bit. I'm just hell.
Yeah, that's fine.
It might fall good. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, you're saying Chicago.
Yeah. Let's see. No, you're good. So I was living in Chicago, and I was you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do this. So I'm from New Orleans.
That's to say,
right?
we can start where you're from. We can just get there, yeah.
It's like the Shakespearean way. I was born.
I grew.
So I was born. Yeah, I was born and raised in New Orleans. And anyway, I don't want to get bogged down with all this college bullshit, but I ended up in Chicago, but by way of New Orleans. I had just kind of gotten out of like a really heavy relationship, and you know, like most people get out of heavy relationships, you just want to get the hell out of there. Anything that reminds you of that, whatever. And I wasn't trying to move apartments and all that shit, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get out of here. I, for lack of a better term, threw a dart at a map and was like, I'm gonna go to Chicago.
That's fire.
I knew like one or two people there, met.
Like
once or twice met.
Not
Was
even
like, okay, those are my people now.
exactly.
Like that's my whole family.
Yeah.
This dude I met twice at a restaurant.
There you go.
And so I went, and like most people, was basically broke. Didn't have anything really going on. I moved with kind of this amount of money, couple months rent, couple months this, that, and the other, food, whatever it may be. And I really didn't want to work in a restaurant because that's kind of what I was doing in New Orleans. That's what most people do, right? It's hospitality and this, that, and the other.
It's the easiest job
And
to get usually.
Some of the people I knew a florist, and they're like, yo, she's looking for help, but she wants somebody that's going to kind of go like all in. Like she's looking for like a second, you know, like make bouquets, do deliveries, boxes, all this shit.
Oh yeah, the whole
So
business.
in my head, I was like, I just need to get my mind off stuff and just be busy and get a job. So that's kind of how that happened. Like, I mean, that's the really addendum version, but that's kind of how that happened. So her name is Lynette. I ended up working at this place called Angel Garden Florist, which is still there, actually.
What's your name? Go shop, yo.
For all your funeral bouquets,
Go shop.
go to the north side of Chicago. Anyway, so yeah, to make a long story longer, I she ended up giving me a job, incredible person, and just was like, oh, you have zero experience. But sometimes that's what people want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Like,
can mold you that way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't coming like, well, I've already did this arrangements, and I know this shit. And she was just like, you know nothing? Cool. I'll upload Neo style. Like, I'm going to jack into the back of your head and teach you how I do everything.
Yeah.
So she did, and in a lot of ways, she was a big mentor. And when I was doing, and that's what I was doing for a really long time, for almost a year. I was taking tests to become like an official florist and all that shit.
Wow.
And she ran it out of her house. It's a really big house, but half of the house
Yeah.
was florist, and the other half she
yeah.
lived. And you know, I'm as you know, I just had a cigarette outside. I was smoking there, and one of these days, I was just probably 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, we get there at 4.
Yeah.
Start doing deliveries at 6, and this, that, and the other. And I was out back, and she had big palms out like by the garage.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know, she's busy. I'm gonna sneak out the back, have a little cig. You know, she's never gonna know the difference.
Exactly.
Popping orbits. Like she's not gonna
She
know
got it.
anything.
It's all right.
And sure enough, like bosses always know, right? She was like, "Where the fuck is this dude at?"
Yeah.
1 minute ago. So she came looking, and I'm crouched like a fucking junkie, dude. Just like hiding under the canopy of some plants. And she goes, what are you doing back there? It looks like you're getting eaten by flowers.
Oh, she
and it's
gave
just the
it
way
to
she said
you.
it, just so off the cuff, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And at the time, I remember logging it in my head and thinking, oh, that's a really cool name. That's pretty cool. Like,
Oh.
whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just real quick. So fast forward a couple years, Instagram starts.
Yeah.
I had my fucking name, dog. You know how rare?
Yeah.
If I could go back in time,
Yeah.
I would just not date that person. But I was dating this person, and it was my name, Jeremy Paige. I just started an Instagram, whatever. This is just some stupid app, nothing. It's just like had those weird filters and shit.
Man.
It was just me drinking Miller High Life at a bar, like selfies with that like weird sepia filter.
The orange one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, like just like lame filters.
Yeah,
Those like
exactly.
Rio de Janeiro filter. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Nothing.
Like people in Rio see in sepia or whatever.
That would be, you know, it's like when Netflix goes to Mexico, it's just orange. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah. So she said something along the lines of, why do you just have your name? That's so lame. Like everyone has like cool, like silly Instagram names.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you change it? Jeremy Page sounds so like proper. It sounds so silly.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, whatever. And for whatever reason, I remembered that, and I thought, oh yeah, eaten by flowers is kind of cool. Like I'll just do that, and then I did it, and that's kind of how that came about. And then it sat for 2-3 years,
Yeah.
and that was just it. And then I started taking photos and this, that, and the other. But that's kind of where the name came from.
Yeah. So then you won the Instagram name because that's a crazy name.
Dude, there's so many. There's a lot now. I don't want to say. I mean, I'm sure there was someone who had eaten by dildos or whatever.
Yeah,
Someone had
something crazy,
some eaten by something.
yeah.
But dude, now there's so many.
Yeah.
Like if you type in eaten by, it's just like jellyfish. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's so many things.
Yeah, but like one is like made up and crazy. The other one's like, oh, this kind of has a little bit of significance to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. That's fine. But no, I mean, either way, that's really pretty much what I had heard. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
well, for anyone listening, that's kind of
that's what I'm saying. I hate to.
It's got no significance to photography whatsoever.
But it's a cool
I've never
name,
even taken
though.
a picture of a flower.
Yeah, but I feel like I remember seeing like the name on the like on the street and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Don't put me out. I don't know who that's.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's a
Some other
it's
dude
a
out
crazy
there
man. It's a crazy guy.
doing that.
You know, he's
Illegal
trying,
graffiti all
he's-
over the city, man.
He's just
I
trying
don't
to
know.
keep Tumblr alive. That's all he's doing. He's doing great, you know. But so yes, so you come from New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you just said you moved to Chicago. But why? How was living in New Orleans or growing up in New Orleans? Other than hot.
Oh man, dude, that's such a fucking loaded question. I mean, it's incredible. I love it. I love being from there. I absolutely love it. And it was and is incredible. It's a really incredible city, but it's really small, man. It's really small.
Super
And It's odd, like I never really flourished there. And I think about it all the time as far as like why that is, but I don't know. I don't really have an answer to it, but as far as like to your question, like growing up there, incredible.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for a better place to grow up. And when I was a kid, I thought it was the opposite way. I was like, oh man, this city's filled with just like Philistines. Everyone just wants to like eat and drink, and that's it. That's it. There's a fucking not shit all to do there except for get loaded, and then kill your hangover with some delicious food, and be like, wow, that was delicious. Well, fuck it, let's go have some drinks to celebrate how great this meal was. And then you get loaded, and then you wake up the next morning, and then it's just
It's a cycle.
which is cool, but I'm a big doer. Like if I want to do something, I try and fucking do it.
Yeah.
And the problem at the time, at least, because I don't live there anymore, so I don't want to just generalize the city.
Yeah.
But even though I know that's fucking how that shit still is, but it's like this. It's like the land of perpetual empty promises. It's constantly this, right?
Yeah.
You're with your friends, it's 1, you're turning up, whatever. Then it's 3, and you're fucking loaded, and you're like, yo, what'd be crazy? It's like, tomorrow, those fucking designs are always doing? Let's start a t-shirt brand. You draw those designs. I know a guy, we're gonna get t-shirts, screen print, we're gonna start a whole business.
Yeah.
Cool, let's do it. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do that tomorrow.
Next day comes.
And next day comes at noon, and your fucking head is in a vice. All you want to do is eat
Exactly.
a Popeyes 5-piece, and you're like, yo, yeah, I know we're starting a brand. Let's start the brand. We're gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're gonna start the brand tomorrow. But then tomorrow you got work.
Yeah.
And then you get out of work at midnight with $200 cash in your pocket. Like, fuck, let's go get some drinks. And then we'll just talk about the t-shirt brand again. But it never happens.
Yeah, exactly.
You never start the brand. That never happens.
Yeah.
And I realize I'm gonna get wrapped up. This is gonna happen. One day I'm gonna be 30, and then I'm gonna be 40, and I'm gonna be 50, and I'm gonna be 60, and be like, yeah, me and my friends, we almost started a t-shirt brand. And I never wanted to do that. It was just like, I'd rather fail trying than just talk about maybe succeeding.
Exactly.
Not to say that I've really fucking succeeded at anything here, but I've at least tried a lot of different things, So that's kind of why I had to leave. But I feel like that's like why so many people leave their town. I mean, even if you're from a big city, you're just like, I got to go elsewhere to just figure out who I am, what I want, and just find my place in the world, you know?
No, exactly. I mean, it boils down to, that rut feeling. Like, if I keep doing the same thing or the same promises keep being promised, and then, 4 years later, it's like, oh shit, I'm still in the same things.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I need to leave.
I'm the problem.
Yeah,
it's me.
Yeah, it's me, because I'm not telling myself to change or to get out of the situation. I'm, succumbing to it pretty much.
Yeah.
So, no, I definitely feel you. And I mean, a lot of people come here for that situation.
Sure.
And then, because people are creatures of habit, they end up doing the same thing they were doing it somewhere else. But it takes time to break a habit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, it's cool, but I do champion the idea of doing.
Yeah.
Like, because if you just keep, telling yourself, okay, yeah, we're going to do this, or like, oh, well, if I just had this, I could do this. It's like, nah, I think the idea is you got to start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you never start, you're never going to be able to figure out if it's actually doable or not, or, whatever. But no, I feel like everybody has that.
Yeah.
Or at least the ones that are trying to do something creative.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, because if you're going to school, you're just going to go to school. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different situation.
I think that's why I think that's why photography is so popular too. Because it's really easily accessible.
Yeah.
And not
all levels.
And like not to just like talk down on anybody who's doing that, because that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like it only cost a camera, and then you just walk around. Like that's it. Like it costs. That's what it costs.
Fucking Nikon user.
Yeah. Fucking write him a fucking Nikon user. Cheers to fucking Nikon, dude.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, right?
you fucking writing him Nikon user, dude. I fucking love Nikon, but
you might be the only person I've ever met.
you know why I fucking shoot Nikon though?
Yeah, please tell me.
I've talked about this kind of before.
I've never heard it.
Is because why? What would be my answer? Well, the first film camera I got was a Nikon.
Okay.
That's why.
For familiarity.
And, yeah, like But I mean, the easy answer would be to be like, well, because the user interface, like I got used to Nikon, or I got invested in Nikon glass, and this, that, and the other, and those are parts of it. That's 5% of it. Like, yeah, I got 50 Nikon lenses, so
Makes sense.
I don't know if I can switch to Pentax or Canon now because I got
exactly.
$1,000 in these lenses. But that's kind of the easy answer. But I'm really loyal not only to just people, but to brands, and that brand, I succeeded with that brand.
Yeah.
Like the first when I started taking photos, they were buns, like they were fucking just
like everybody,
trash,
like everybody,
right? Like
else. Yeah,
everybody, right? Like
everybody.
regardless of what you could get
Yeah.
a Leica at 9 and be ass.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
But
Terrible.
it just so happens that I got a Nikon and I liked it, and then I got good, and I was fucking broke, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was broke. So I wanted this. I wanted a Contax T2, and I wanted all this fucking shit that you see on Instagram. Like, oh, my favorite photographer shoots with this, so like that's my dream camera.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, these photos, as you start taking, you're like, maybe these photos aren't that good.
Yeah.
And I like mine.
Yeah,
So
exactly, yeah.
why switch up?
Why switch
Well,
up?
why switch up? Like my camera costs $300. I've had, I think 6 or 7, because they break. You know, like I shoot with a Nikon F4.
Anything.
They fucking break. It's just a plastic. It's a big old plastic brick.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I might get 10, 15,000 captures on it, and then it starts tweaking, and then I'm just like, fuck it. I leave it, go get a new one, $300.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I want to use another brand?
Yeah.
Like the camera breaks, but the photo, like it. Why would I want to switch up on it?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
You know, and like I don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, and like I like my photos. I like how I take it. I like the feel of it. I like it, and
Why change it?
why start fucking with things? It's working. Just leave it. And they break $300.
Yeah.
I got an M6. Oh, the shutter didn't work. Well, I gotta fucking mail it to them. They're gonna give me some bullshit. 3 months. We gotta order a part and
$2,500 and a piece of your soul. You know what I mean?
And there's like we were talking about that gentleman outside. Like there's film purists out there, which I am not. Like there's guys out there that could just tell you about whatever Mamiya 645 and the difference between the 2 and the 1, and I can't do any of that shit. It's just like I don't care about any of that.
I mean, and also
I'm covering this just in case there's
you're good.
no brand.
No brand.
Everybody knows what this is, though, right?
It's black and white.
Dodgers. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's black and
Okay,
white.
never mind.
You're
I'm
good.
just gonna drink like a baby bottle.
But to piggyback off the whole thing, I mean, I do understand, film is very, not film, but, photography itself is very accessible. So everybody that, any type of trip or whatever, everyone becomes a photographer in their life. You know what I'm saying? No matter at whatever level, you know what I'm saying? But it's the logic of like, what are you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just, for cool Instagram pictures, or is it gonna be something that you take the time to at least learn your system?
Yeah.
You don't need to learn them all. You don't need to have the encyclopedia. You just need to learn what you have. Like in your situation, like with the F4, why would I get off of that?
Work with what you got.
Yeah, you work what you got. Work what you can afford. Don't break your pockets. And understand too, especially if you do film, like everyone knows, all these shits break. But anyway, so you putting $2,500.
Bro, they do, man.
And they break it. Sometimes they break at the worst time. I'm trying to tell you.
1980s plastic pieces of shit. They fucking break.
And in my head, I'm like, yo, there's no way that like somebody had these mint. Like when anyone when I see like, oh, there's mint. Like you guys are fucking liars. Like unless it's the same fucking box, you guys are fucking liars.
Right.
Like you know what I mean?
I want that shit sealed with the 1980s dust.
Exactly.
That's mint.
And then I know if it's been sitting in the box for that long, it doesn't work.
You know what's fucking crazy about that? I just thought about is like, if that's what's classified as mint, in my head, I'm almost like, nah, actually fucking break that shit out of the box, test it, and then I'll buy. Like, I'd rather buy it newish than mint. Because if it's still in the box for 30 years, maybe I don't want to buy it.
I see near mint on some things, and I'm like, and I look, I'm like, does it have a shutter? Do they test it? And then in my head too, I'm like, yo, they could have broke it, tested it. Like, you know what I mean? Because everything is so fucking fragile, and it's like, but I mean, I feel like I didn't even start really liking photography until I started shooting film. It's just because of how slow the process is.
Really?
Yeah, I shoot digital I shot digital for a long time. This is not
Yeah.
about me, but I shot digital for a while, and then
What were you shooting on?
this motherfucker right
Sony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I only Sony. I wouldn't go outside of it, and then
Yeah, yeah.
and then I had a friend of mine that was like, oh, you should shoot film, and I was like, I've never shot it. This is also before things were
Fuck
fucking.
that guy. That dude just cost you
for
10
real.
grand.
No, exactly.
Fuck
And like,
that
and
guy.
I ain't gonna lie, I did the T2s, I did those, and I mean, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But this is before they were like sub $1,000.
Before Kendall Jenner posted them, and now they're $9,000.
Or fucking Frank Ocean. I've hated all them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Frank did it too.
Frank did it, and that's
right.
That's really what.
Because I got mine. I think it was $350.
Yeah, I paid 400 and something for the first one.
yeah.
But then
Pre-Frank.
Yeah, but then I did. I bought it again at like 1,000.
Yeah, post Frank.
Yeah, because
It's like $1,200
But I will say, I'm
for a
a
goddamn point and shoot.
for a fucking
That's a fucking point and shoot.
It's a fucking.
know.
But that's why it was so sought after, because you didn't.
Yeah,
It didn't
yeah.
take any math. You didn't. Well, depending on how you shot. But if you didn't need to calculate f-stop. You didn't need.
Yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
You know,
the Zeiss glass in it is
yeah,
sharp
it's,
and this and
it's the
that.
sharpest shit in the city. So it's like, I get it. I understand. So
I don't.
I don't know.
I just don't subscribe to all that shit.
Nah,
I agree. It is sharper.
No, it's sharp as shit. But
If it's
yeah.
if it's this big,
Yeah.
it's sharper.
Yeah.
If it's this big
It's all the same.
and it's a JPEG, who the fuck cares?
No, and
it
then-
doesn't. You're not gonna print your picture of a parked car 9 feet. It's just not. That's not gonna happen. I get that there's fall leaves on it. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter.
It's not the whole parked car. It's the hood with a cover on it, and you can see
Right,
the
right,
shape.
right. But it's lifted a little. It's just lifted. It's lifted in the front so you get the headlights round, and the headlights are round. Yeah.
And it's up at an upperculating angle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh yeah, it's so fucking
Yeah.
mysterious.
The angle is they're standing on the sidewalk, and the angle of the car is it's parked on the fucking street. That's the angle.
But that's way funnier than you niggas will be like, what are they talking about? Y'all have to see it. I can.
I mean, just hashtag film aesthetic. Like,
do
it's,
hashtag film car, and it's like a million of them. But I mean, hey, but yeah, no. I mean, at that point, the sharpness doesn't matter. And I mean, I do understand if you're doing like print galleries all the time. Then I mean, you should probably be shooting with a medium format camera if we're gonna be so.
yeah,
honest.
totally, man. And like that's something that I don't do. So again,
do
like
I.
I'm like we're not the foremost authority. I don't know shit about
Yeah,
film. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
shoot
yeah.
it. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
People will send me DMs like, "Oh, this emulsion and these chemicals." I'm like, "Bro, C41.
I dropped the
I don't
bitches
know.
off and I let them do it.
Yeah, dude.
you
Like,
know?
I don't know.
But no, I get it. And I mean, but to even the moving, because I know people will be like, let's fucking talk about him yet. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say, too, as far as, because, I mean, you mostly do street photography or just stuff in
I
in
know.
the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
And you had said something that resonated, I feel like, a lot, where it's like, you don't care. And I think, and not to take it out of context, but like I think that might be the key for a lot of people. And I'm not in the street photography world. There's a lot of people I do like that do street photography, and that I could be, like I know how hard that might have been to make it happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's so interesting because, I watch a lot of those, where they're walking around the street or somebody's following them or whatever the fuck, and it's like some of them look scared. And it's like, then, you watch someone like you where it's like, you're just going up to people's fucking car windows. And it's like the not caring, but plus the confidence,
Sure.
I think is astounding. It's very inspiring to see that, like, even though the not caring is more like a mantra, I would feel. I mean, it's still so like I guess dividend in your craft that it's like, nah, we're gonna get the picture.
Yeah.
We're not gonna not get it just because of this. But anyway, I'll let you speak on it. But yeah, I think it's very forthcoming. I feel like a lot of people can learn something from that.
Yeah. I mean, you made a lot of interesting points.
I try.
Well, what the?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm here, right?
Exactly. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? I give it my all.
Yeah, well, not to be misconstrued, I did care.
Yeah,
like heavily, I cared. I mean, and a lot of people, and there's so many great people out there that have just been a part of my pictures over the years, even when I just sucked and for whatever reason, either maybe thought that I was gonna maybe be better or whatever it may be, but I used to just be really obsessed with locations and just getting a perfect picture in that location. So I would go back day and day and week after week, and sometimes like I would have a book of like the axis of the sun, certain types of the year where the sun would fall here, and you know, this, that, and the other, all this like ridiculous shit. And it did pay off because I got some pretty cool photos out of it, but it really just took all the joy out of it. I just did not like it, man. Like, I really didn't. I felt, it felt like a job. It felt like an extension of my job. Yeah. You know, where I missed, it's such a fucking important part. Like, when I first moved to LA, all I wanted to do was become a professional photographer. Yeah. That's what I wanted, right? Anyone comes here, they want to be a professional. Something. Whatever, professional actor, musician, whatever it is, I want to be taken seriously by my peers, and I want to make money. Yeah. And I want to just do that. And that was really my goal, and I really just wanted to prove myself in the space, whatever that even is. And I wanted to do all these things of just like, I can be great. Yeah. I'm not just good, but like, I feel something that I could just be great. And I really tried to force that. And the more I did, the joy just kind of fell right from it, man. Yeah. And I reached this really low point where I just didn't care. And then I just missed taking photos. I just thought, man, this sucks, dude. Like, I miss just walking around, taking photos, and just having a good time. Yeah. And that's kind of like where that came in. And also, like, there's so many other aspects, dude. Like, people can just sense fear. Yeah. You can just sense it. Yeah. And instead of working on my photography, I worked on, dude, this shit sounds so fucking lame, but I worked on like my energy. Oh yeah. and like a disarming nature of just where before I'd be kind of like a fucking, like a boxer, like, okay, which way are you gonna go? Pow, got you.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like, that is so like, I don't like hitting people with a flash, and the photos just never, to me, just don't resonate with me. It just looks like you got a mugshot of a person on the sidewalk. Yeah. That's cool. That's some people's taste. Yeah. I didn't even want that. I wanted to feel a connection. You know how, like, you take portraits, I've seen a lot of your portraits, and they feel comfortable. You're taking pictures of people backstage, at a show, maybe before, after, they just got out, they just had fucking 2,000 people screaming their name. Yeah. You take their photo, they look happy, they look relaxed. Not like, they walk up, it's like, all right, thanks everybody, and then they turn around and you're like, God damn, like you just blow them with a flash in the face. It didn't seem like that, and I didn't want to do that. Yeah. I wanted there to be like kind of a synergy of just, so when I started taking photos, again, I did it with like openness, where I wanted them to see me. Hey, I wear this big fucking brick camera. I'm here taking photos. Boom, I take one, and that's it. And it's hard to just take one, because your instinct is to be like, ooh, maybe that one's good, but now they dropped their arm. Maybe I'll get another one. Just get better, be better. Just don't just see something happen and just grab it. Wait a millisecond and be like, oh, they dropped their arm. Now I'm going to get that one. And then if the guy or the woman, whoever it is, says, hey, did you take my photo? Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm happy to send it to you. I think it's going to be really rad or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And having that conversation, that's why I stopped listening to music. Because I used to be, I would just walk out the front door, plug in music, 9 hours would go by, and then I would take them out, and I would shoot. Yeah. Music, dude, anybody wants to take street photography, whatever you want to call it, music, awful. Stop. Because it's that. Yeah. Let's say you're just walking down the street, right? Just minding your own. I take your photo. Your first initial reaction, the first thing you want to do is ask. Like you want to use language, right? Hey, did you just take my photo? Now, you could ask me that, and I would say, yeah, I did, but I had to, man. It looks really interesting. Like, if you don't want me to use it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I go through this whole rigmarole. Yeah. If I take your photo and I'm wearing earbuds, your brain knows now I can't use my language, which is my first reaction is to be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you want to be angry or nice, you're going to say, yo, what the fuck? Or, hey, did you just take my photo?
Yeah.
You see those, you know now language is off,
Doesn't work.
off the table.
Now you gotta get
so what's your
physical.
next?
Now you gotta get
What the
physical.
fuck was
Yeah,
that? What
exactly.
the fuck did, you know?
Yeah,
Then you
exactly.
get, then you go primal.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
like, what the, my fucking kids, did you get my kid?
Yeah.
And I learned, I was like, okay, music not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. Because I would see people talking and then I would take, what'd you say? You know, that didn't work. So right out the gate, anyone even just wanting to start, just have the common decency and respect to if you take someone's photo and they immediately want to ask you a question, be receptive.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have to take, even just taking them out is disrespectful.
Yeah.
Just be on their level right away.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Treat it like what it
that
is.
was another, you know, it's just like little things you pick up over the years. Just like, I don't want to get beat up, so
Or shot.
or shot. Like I don't want anything to happen to my body.
Exactly.
So anything I could do to not do that and get good photos, and then maybe even after, like handshake. Hey,
Yeah.
you want a copy of the photo? Yeah, maybe. All right, here's my Instagram. It never happens.
Yeah, I believe it.
The worst photos, they want that. The best ones, they're like, nah, I'm good, man. Like, whatever. Do whatever. I don't care.
Then like, oh,
There's so many times where I'm like, I think that might actually be pretty good, man. Like, I think I got a cool, you know, like, just if you want me to give it to you, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Nah,
I'm going to CPK, dude. Like, I'm good. Like, whatever.
right.
You're good. Go ahead. You're good. Like, all right,
for
dude.
real.
One day I might sell that for $25,000. You know.
Exactly. No, I mean,
I'd like, you could one day get a check for $3,000,
Exactly.
but I don't know.
but you just want to, go on with your day. I mean, and I think, and I get
Each
it.
their own.
Each their own. No, and I get it. I mean, I think your, excuse me, your actually, like, your photography does feel calmer than most.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel abrasive. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like, I mean, especially because, I like the idea that my father is from New Orleans. So I've been to New Orleans.
For real?
Yeah. I've been
You
to
know
New
what's
Orleans.
crazy? I'm gonna say this. I hope I'm not like way out of pocket.
It's okay.
I've seen multiple of your pods,
Yeah.
and you have like a sweat rag.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's
you do
very-
that.
it's very-
That
yeah,
is like,
exactly,
bro.
yeah.
That is my childhood. Anyone who's ever been to New Orleans knows that is humid 13 months out of the year.
all day.
December,
Exactly.
you're fucking, dude. I would cape, like when I would go to high school. I
Yeah.
would have my driving. And people from New Orleans knows you have your driving clothes,
Yeah.
and then you have your location clothes, because you're gonna sweat as soon as you get in the car. The first 30 seconds, you're sweating. Even if the AC kicks on, you
Takes
drench.
time, yeah.
From the door to the other door, you're drenched. So when you
terrible.
get to your location, you then take that clothing off, you
Yeah.
dry yourself,
Yeah.
then you put on your location clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've driven with the
Yeah,
rag
bro,
where I'm
rag,
just like, fuck.
It's because it's hot, and it's like, bro, the idea of it is like, yeah, it's hot as hell. So like, yeah, and that's what my dad did. So I
Like, you
just
want my
always-
neck to be
yeah.
all wet, or you want me to just have like this fucking cool ass, you know?
Exactly, trying to get right. You know what I mean? And it's like, so no, I definitely feel you. It's hot as shit, and I think
It's fucking, well, dude, what it's, I run hot.
me too.
I run hot.
Me too.
Like, I run
super hot. You know, like I said, I'm surprised I'm not sweating out. Like, I'm like, it's hot.
Dude, I was gonna say, I almost wanted to show up with like my
Bro, you
own.
might
But I
have
was
to.
like, it's like nighttime and it's fucking
It's
winter
raining.
now. So
It's fucking raining all of a sudden. Like, LA, this is a
you're
weird
gonna look
night.
at me like an asshole. Like, what does this fucking dude wiping the rain? He's wiping the rain off. His
I mean, it rains out there like crazy too. Bro.
It does rain, man. Yeah. I just got back.
I bet I couldn't live there, man. It's just, oh man, it's hot. It's not my thing. But no,
I want to move back.
really.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think one day I'd like to move back. Dude, I was gonna say off the record, even though this is like very much on the record.
I can cut it out.
I just feel no, don't cut it out. But
What do you say?
no. Well, I was gonna say like I like, man, shit. Like when I go back to New Orleans, I can't shoot New Orleans. I can't.
Yeah.
And I'll describe it like this: is you've been obviously probably
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
So you know how beautiful it is, and the
amazing.
houses, and the shotgun houses, and this,
Yeah.
that, and the streetcar, and all this shit. It's incredible. It's absolutely magical. It's incredible if you haven't
People do
been.
not
Go.
know what a shotgun house is. I'll tell you
Oh
that.
yeah, that's right. Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just don't see it because that's where I'm from. So I'm calloused. I can look at something and say, wow, look at the streetcar with the sunset. Oh, it's beautiful. But I'm not inclined nor inspired to say, oh, fuck, let me get a photo of that. I've seen that 50,000 times.
Yeah.
I've seen it 100,000 times. So I've already seen it so many times. Why do I even? It frustrates me because like I want to go home and just say, man, I'm from here. Like I know all the little neighborhoods, that micro neighborhoods and shit. Now everything's so like hipster and shit.
Yeah,
You know, like
they
all these like,
tore down
neighborhoods.
they tore down all the projects. And
Which is crazy to even say that because they did tear down all the projects.
tore them all down.
They tore down the Melf, like all of them.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, like in replacement, built beautiful homes.
No,
Like,
they
it's
look
beautiful, but
yeah, but
I know what you're saying, like CL10 and shit like
Yeah,
that. Like
exactly.
that, all that is gone, and that's like a huge part of my childhood, man. Like,
I
it really is. It's crazy.
I'd went right after Katrina, like right after.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, just obviously as a kid, but I was like, you know,
Yeah.
I remember seeing all the trash on the streets, and
Yeah.
you know, this is like, you know, what I'm saying they demolished stuff. I think like the years following.
Yeah.
Now it's like, yeah, it just hasn't looked the same just from pictures I've seen and stuff like that. But I mean, hey man, I get it. You know what I mean? But I think
Gotta rebuild.
you gotta rebuild.
you
Gotta
can
do
do?
something. You know.
Yeah.
You know, but
It is crazy. Like there's like you could recognize someone who's because there's a lot of people like, oh, I'm a New Orleanian. I guess maybe it's like here. It's like anywhere.
yeah, exactly.
And that's, for lack of a better term, is the high watermark of, oh, you're from New Orleans, but like you moved there or your whole family might have died 20 years ago.
Yeah,
like there's a
exactly.
big difference in being from New Orleans and being
Yeah.
from starting when.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did you go through the storm or your post-storm?
Yeah, no, yeah, post storm you get no respect. But if it's before and you know what I mean, you stuck it out or did whatever you did, then it's like, yeah, there's usually a deeper situation story there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's one of those things that's kind of funny because, or again, nothing's funny about Katrina, but I'm saying it's funny that when people talk about like, you know, the storm that was going to happen in Florida.
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
no one's leaving till like it's too late. I said, guys, you gotta understand this area
Yeah.
gets hit with storms and floods and stuff
All
like
the
that
time.
all the time. I said,
Yeah.
my dad always talks about, you know,
Like 3 or 4 hit the news, but
Yeah, exactly.
30 or 40 hit the state every
All the time.
that hurricane season, that
Yeah.
5-month season.
yeah. So
It's just a Category 1 or tropical storm, so it doesn't even break the news.
yeah, and I'm like, bro, they'll be fine with not having no power for a couple days and stuff like that.
that's all it
They
is.
got food, you know. You don't hear the mass hysteria like you do.
Hurricane parties, dude.
You know,
Like people know in the southeast, like they know hurricane
Yeah.
parties. Like, oh shit, it's Category 1, tight.
yeah, we're gonna be
We're gonna sit in the back of a truck in the rain, and we're gonna get shit faced at the lake.
Yeah, they're gonna have
It's
fun,
it's
like
gonna be
Lake
fun.
Pontchartrain. You know what I mean? Like I get it. So it's like the idea of it is like, you know, like no, people stick things out. Like they're a lot tougher than you are. I said when it just gets bad enough to where like they want us to leave, then then okay, then you start getting a little panic and everyone trying to get out. But I'm like, nah. Usually they just stick it through and they'll be okay. Like you know what I mean? But I say this to say that you know I heard you say, you know, kind of the idea of like you can't shoot New Orleans and stuff like that. Even though the pictures that I have seen that I know are New Orleans are amazing. And they're actually some of my favorite of your work.
Oh, cool.
Like there's a specific picture of there's 3 people walking and there's like I don't know where exactly it's at, but it's these arches, and it's like they all fit within the arch.
That sounds like me. Yeah.
It's all perfect. And the arch is like yellow. It's like yellow. You know, like New Orleans.
Yeah,
colors,
yeah,
like
New
yellow,
Orleans. Yeah, you
bright
can
blue.
spot if you've been to New
Yeah.
Orleans, you can spot a New Orleans
Yeah,
photo
exactly.
like nothing. Yeah.
You know, and you know, but I'm like, you know, I can understand it because I feel like, you know, you shoot Hollywood so well because it's essentially Bourbon Street.
Dude,
along the
yeah.
street.
Did you read that somewhere? Or are you just saying that?
I'm just saying it because it technically in my head because that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, man.
You know,
it is.
but I
It
feel
is.
like
it is that.
yeah, because it's Bourbon Street is literally people. It's so funny. I wish people would go because it's like Bourbon Street is literally just one big ass street.
Yeah.
But like it's so much coming in and out each bar and there's people on the tops and stuff. Like I could see that translating to here. It's just more street. You know, more businesses, brighter lights, etc., etc. And I'm like, you know, I can see how it could translate. Because technically, that would be like you being at home if you were, like, on Hollywood Boulevard. That feels like home. Because it's just so much chaos and touristy shit. But usually the people that are on Bourbon Street, it's like half and half.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
You
I
don't
don't-
read that anywhere? You're not bullshitting me?
I swear to God.
Swear to God right now.
Swear to God.
That's okay. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, like from your lips to through my brain right out. That's literally exactly it, man. That's like, I mean,
I got it right.
I literally couldn't describe it any more perfectly or articulately than you just did, and that is very true. Because even where my parents still live, is less than 1 mile from the quarter. So I grew up riding bikes through the quarter, all that shit. You know, going to Quartermaster. You know, with the whole thing, the whole quarter thing. And you made a very valid point, and I just want to expand on it just a little bit. Is like I've lived in the quarter as an adult, and like towards the other side of the quarter, like where people lived, or like I lived on Ursuline and Bourbon, and
You're right there.
And you're right. With Bourbon Street, it's the same exact thing as Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. It's a thresher of tourists, locals, people looking to just get fucking fucked up and loaded, and families coming because they just don't have shit else to do. Like, I don't know what you want to do today. I don't know. Take the kids to Hollywood Boulevard.
Exactly.
It's a sea of hand grenades and on Hollywood Boulevard in lieu of a souvenir shop. So let's get, a Hollywood sign or...
It's kind of like the idea of not having to be in your car. Like you
Dude,
have
it's the same thing.
You have to be in the center of it.
Yeah, but this is the French Quarter nationally and maybe even internationally is known for Bourbon Street. Maybe Canal, but really Bourbon Street. Like that's it. That is the fucking hub. That 9-block square is the definition of almost the whole state of Louisiana.
Yeah, literally.
With Los Angeles,
Superdome.
yeah, in the dome.
Yeah.
Especially now, and it's nice as fuck now. But with LA, especially Hollywood, it is Hollywood Boulevard. Like I live in Hollywood. I mean, I live on Hollywood Boulevard. So like I walk out the front door and I'm touching stars, you know?
Oh, wow.
But there is
Sounds loud.
7 blocks this way, 7 blocks that way. Like there's a whole ecosystem of just people living their life, walking their dog, normal neighbor shit, drama. It is an actual fucking neighborhood. Like it is a whole functioning neighborhood. It just so happens that right in the middle of this little quaint neighborhood, there is a massive thresher of people flying in and out of the entire universe just to see the sidewalk.
Some stars,
And it is the same fucking thing in Bourbon Street. It is the same thing. People fly from all over the world just to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. And they're like, all right. They get there and they're like, all right, it's pretty cool. We can get drunk and loaded on the street. We can smoke in the bars. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I did it. I'm good.
Cool.
We can go home. It's the same thing with Hollywood Boulevard. People do the whole thing and they're like, all right. Well, we got a T-shirt. The kids got some toys.
Yeah.
We're good.
We got to see
We're
everything
good.
we need to see.
We're good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that. I like that because I like shooting around that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not big on shooting tourists. I like shooting like I just posted a set of photos and like I don't think any of those people were necessarily people who were visiting. I think a lot of those people were people who probably lived around there.
Yeah.
You know, like that dude praying. I've seen that guy so many times.
He must live somewhere close.
He must.
Yeah, he must. Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know. I think I believe he's Muslim, right? When they on the mat.
On the mat.
And they
5 times a day.
They lay 5 times a day. That's right.
East.
And they point it towards Mecca, but the way the arch of the United States, the way the arch of the globe. Each time it's a little bit different. And I've seen him numerous times praying in different locations, and I never even in my head thought, well, maybe it's pointed this way or that way. I never even thought about it. And then someone commented that, like, they point that in this. I was wondering why the fuck he chose.
Yeah.
Like, why is he eating up the whole fucking sidewalk sideways when he could just do it?
And you gotta stop no matter what. It doesn't matter what time.
Which I think is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
It's really
It's some dedication. I feel like if anything,
5 times a day.
5 times a day.
I can't do anything 5 times a day.
Yeah, no, I used to. There was a guy that used to own a store around where I used to live, and same shit. He'd be helping you, whatever. A little alarm would go off. He'd be like, "Oh, 1 minute." Walk in the back, and do his thing, and come back. And do this,
Yo,
yeah.
dude, that's
I'm
crazy.
deadass. I'm like
in the middle of like checking you out or
he's gonna
something.
check you out because it's a really because the thing is.
It's like, yo, fuck these groceries, dog. Like,
Man,
I'm
it was
trying
like
to cover the afterlife, so
Right.
this $30.
Fuck it. Doesn't matter. It's just right
Steal
now.
this shit.
Oh, bro, like it happens all the time. Like it's.
Yo,
so, I mean,
that's crazy.
that's what was my first time seeing it because I kept wondering why this nigga would just stop talking to me and then he would just be in the back.
Yeah.
And then, like it's a whole it's a whole prayer. Like
Yeah.
especially when you go to like another country. Depending on the like how religious the country is,
Yeah.
they'll play it over like a loudspeaker. Like all the churches have loudspeakers.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone's praying.
Yeah.
But the prayer is read over loud, and it's the loudest fucking thing on earth.
Whoa,
But
dude,
yeah,
I
but
didn't know
it's,
that.
It's some shit. Like it's very much like a it's like a lifestyle. Like you know what I mean?
I do I think I'm very fascinated with religion. I mean, like throughout a lot of the photos that I post, at least, I try and I really love people who are devoutly religious.
Yeah.
I think the being devoted to something is really cool. Like, I'm devoted to taking pictures, for better or worse. Dude, I wish I would have picked something else, man. Like, I swear to God. I was telling somebody, yeah, dude, I really, because I myself am not very religious.
Yeah.
So I do understand, I don't want to compare religion with obsession, but I've dealt with obsession for a really long time.
You know, it's not to cut you off.
No.
I do the same thing. I like when I started doing anything.
Yeah.
I obsessed real bad, like
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah.
To where it's like I don't know if it would be devoting. It would be. It's an inclination of like I want to figure it out. I turned into like some type of like hunchback monster trying to like
Yeah.
figure out a new thing.
Yeah.
Until I get it.
Yeah.
And then like it might lose its.
Like, you don't even want to do it
Yeah,
anymore.
it might lose its luster. Photography and video and things like that are the only thing that's been able to capture my attention span, and it's only because I don't know it all.
Yeah, but I mean, even when you were taking portraits, I mean, did you ever feel the inclination to be like, all right, well, I'm meeting all these people, I'm taking all these photos, like, they're digging them, I'm digging them. Let me make the connection and say, hey, fuck it, let me get you in the studio, let's shoot maybe an album cover or a magazine, whatever it is, like lifestyle just for your own shit.
I think I hate. This is crazy how you're asking questions now, but I think I hate the idea of super like controlled stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoy.
Obviously, you got targeting the right person.
Yeah,
I
right.
fucking
That's
hate
what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
I really hate controlled situations. Like, sure, if you tell me to take a picture, I'll take the picture. There's no problem. I'm not gonna be upset. It's just the idea of like, I like the calmer. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
might be in the studio. I'll take a picture in the studio. That's fine. Like, it's
Like, you
cool.
rather off the cuff.
I'd rather just
like,
okay,
yo,
yeah,
just
yeah,
do
yeah,
this real
just-
quick. Oh,
it
boom. All
might
right,
not-
cool.
and-
Have a good night.
And I hate poses. I don't pose. I don't like, even when like I do like more commercial stuff, I don't really like posing because it takes away of like the authenticity of it. There's
Yeah.
no authenticity if I pose you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather you do something.
It's a picture of you posing.
Exactly. I'd rather you be comfortable with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then I'll take the picture.
Yeah.
However I see fit because it's
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like, but that's always been my thing where it's like I don't really like the album cover stuff or like
Yeah.
like it's cool. People use my pictures for their album art all the time, which is great.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not really. I was wondering what's fucking ringing. I'm just not really that type of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I understand, and I that's why I think like even like with you guys, and like with you and everyone else we were speaking about before off camera. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like you guys kind of paved the way for not having to do the regular consensus.
Well, let me
Burst your bubble.
burst your fucking bubble on that. Like,
Yeah.
I have a 9-to-5 job.
We all do. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we all do.
Fucking most people do, man.
At least if you live in
Most people
California.
on social media have a fucking job. They
full-
might look like they're hanging out in Kuala Lumpur, just fucking chilling
All
for
day.
6 months. But
Yeah.
like, that was 5 days with 300 photos. Now they're fucking back at home working.
And
you know?
also, they didn't get those photos developed because fucking developing photos is like cutting off an arm.
Yeah, shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I like I work for a living, like most people do,
Yeah.
and I do work in production. I do take photos as a career, but it's not in the caliber that people might think,
Okay.
right? I do that. I know that I could probably make a living off of photography. I know that I could, and I know that I would have to bend on a lot of things that I don't want to bend on. And again,
Yeah.
like we were talking about that earlier, and I really want to talk about this is because I d- I've been broke like almost always, dude. Like I've lived paycheck to paycheck for 10 fucking years. Like for a few years I haven't, which has been nice, but I've never really had a lot of money. I didn't come from a lot of money. There was no nepotism. My dad didn't like put me on to his brother's cousin out here. Like I was fucking working in restaurants, not restaurant to restaurant to restaurant for fucking 5 years out here.
Yeah,
You know, and being broke the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And I understand the value of the dollar and how fucking hard some people work. And there's a lot of photographers who are fucking broke, who do it as a hobby, who are trying to either come up and become a professional photographer or just get better at their hobby.
Yeah.
And if they like my pictures for whatever fucking retarded reason they might like them, I don't want to, because in my head, I'm like, I love this photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking love it, right? That photo of the dude spitting that everyone fucking loves.
Yeah.
I could fucking sell that for probably 10 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I could, but there's someone out there who would probably love it more for $100, but I don't want to sell it for $100.
Exactly.
So I'd rather just not sell it at all because I don't want to take anyone's money, dude. Like I just don't. It's people are like, when's the book dropping? When's the book dropping? Well, the book is, if I do a book, it's gonna cost like $75, dude. I'm such an asshole. Like half the people, I'll be like, oh, you only have, all right, we'll just take one here. I'll send it. I'll end up losing $5 grand on the book.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to take anyone's money, dude, and that's why I love having a job and I'm not a professional photographer. I'm not a fucking photographer.
Yeah.
I'm not any of that shit.
Yeah.
Is because when I'm taking photos, in the back of my head, I'm not like, oh, this would be perfect for my next show, or I'll do a book on garbage men, and I'll follow around garbage trucks and take pictures of guys hanging off the back of the garbage truck, because that would make for an awesome book, and then I could take 80 photos of that and then put out a book, and I'll do 3,000 copies, self-published, 25 a book. It would cost me, I'll sell them for 50, so I'll clear 35,000. That'll be good for the year, and then I'll work on my net. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
I'm bad with numbers. I don't like money. I just want to like take pictures, man. I don't want to take anyone's money. That's why I give shit away for free all the time. People will be like, oh, I want a print of this. Go on my website, right-click, download, go to wherever the fuck you want, print. You want to send it to me? I'll fucking sign it.
Yeah,
You want to frame it? Frame it. You want to sell it on eBay for $1,000? Sell it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just none of my business, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm out here stealing moments. I'm
moments,
stealing these moments. Like this is people's moments that I'm borrowing or stealing. I don't, that's the same shit. People are like, oh, you're what's the big word? Where you're like when people take pictures of like homeless people and like kids and stuff like that. Like
There's a
you're.
word for that?
Yeah, dude. Like you're. Oh goodness, I'm so fucking drunk. I'm actually not. I've had like 3 beers. I'm really not drunk. I've had like 3 beers.
You're good.
Essentially taking advantage. Like I'm taking advantage.
Damn. Yeah, I can't think of it either. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Well, anyone listening, they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they'll put it in there.
So I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage, and I want to sleep well at night knowing that I'm not. So if I do take a picture of someone maybe in a compromising position, which is very rare, let's say I take a picture of someone crying, which I do often.
Yeah.
And people give me shit about, oh, you shoot someone crying. Like, dude, you're walking down the street, you see a girl on the phone just crying, just tears rolling down. You're not going to look. It's the same as me looking. I'm going to take a photo.
Exactly.
The difference is that I'm not going to sell that photo.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to monetize exploitation.
Yeah, you're not going to exploit. Okay.
It's a very fine line with exploitation. Like, I have my own rules of things. I really try not to shoot kids. I don't shoot people who are maybe down and out or, homeless, whatever it is.
I definitely see not shooting kids.
I try not to. I mean, sometimes I do. Like,
Yeah,
something
that
looks
makes
cool.
sense.
But like, I get it. With kids is weird.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, as a
Someone
guy,
had-
I don't have kids, but if I did, if I just saw some dude who looked like me take a photo of my child, I'd be like, yo, no, you're not just gonna walk by. Hey, let's just stop a second.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Let's figure this
Did
out.
you yeah.
Let's figure this out.
Film?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I know film. Okay, so where are you getting them developed?
Exactly. We have to meet you over there and stuff like that. Oh,
Right.
bro, yeah.
Yeah. I know film. Pop the roll. I'll
Exactly.
develop it. I'll
do
send
it.
you the photo.
Exactly. You fucking weirdo.
But you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, nah. I mean,
so that's why I don't classify myself as like really a photographer, because I'm fringe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. There's dudes out there making a living. They're shooting for Marriott and Hyundai and all this shit. And like, I just don't want to do that, man.
more car photos.
I don't want to. Yeah, dude.
More car photos.
I just don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it. Like, because it's a slippery slope, right? Marriott calls me, hey, we really like, okay, well, I don't really think I'm fit for that. That's fine. We want your vision. Just walk around Marriott and you just take your photos. Like, okay, well, that sounds kind of cool. That sounds easy, right? I could do that for $5,000 and a 4 free night stay
Yeah,
at
exactly.
fucking Marriott Denver, wherever you want to fly me out. That sounds kind of cool.
You know,
Well, then that $5,000, it goes down real smooth, and then I'm like, man, that was nice, man.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
an easy $5,000. Like, it takes me a whole month to make $5,000. I just did
exactly.
it in 4 days, and I got to fucking
Stay at a
jerk
hotel.
off in a jacuzzi. Like, oh, that's fucking, and they paid me to do it. Like,
exactly.
then you start looking like, okay, well, how do I get another Marriott? How do I get Hyatt? How do I get Hilton? How do I get Hyundai? How do I just fucking do this shit for a living?
Exactly.
And then the thrill is gone. Like, the edge is gone.
You know what you said? Cause I do want to circle back to that because
The jerking off part?
yeah, that part exactly. No, but no, the you know, funny as fuck. But the part about kind of doing the whole Marriott thing, and I actually might have to cut this out because I'm gonna talk about it.
No, it's cool. I'm not hating on anybody who does it. I know a lot of guys who do.
I'm not either. No, but I think it's interesting. Let me do my first point first.
Yeah,
So no,
yeah.
because you had said something that I think me personally, and this is like just me. I don't know anybody else. Like you said, I take pictures of people. That's great.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's all good.
Famous people.
Yay, man. So I take pictures of people, and I don't classify myself. I'm not a paparazzi. I know half the time I know these people. I've known them for a while. And they like my pictures since I've been taking pictures forever. It's great, cool. I'm working.
And that's
out.
probably why you're there.
I'm grandfathered in. You know what I mean?
right,
People like my
right.
pictures. It's cool, great. I'm very blessed. At a time where everyone is doing it, and I thought it was so oversaturated that it just stopped. My ambition to even pick up a camera stopped.
Yeah.
It was like, it just seemed like, I feel like I just got burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so much of it. Everyone's kind of doing the same thing, and I'm like,
yeah.
And I remember you had said something along the same lines of kind of getting burnt out on it, where you said you stopped and things of that nature. And I can't remember the sentence. I did hear that one.
Yeah. No, it's very true, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Like, it took me a very long time to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and this is kind of how this kind of came about, because I got bored and I was like, if I'm not taking photos, I gotta do something, and and I just think I think that's something a lot of people go through. And I mean, I guess that kind of sounds selfish because it's like, obviously you're not the only person with a camera, because everybody can get a camera.
Sure.
But I think to a certain extent where it's like, I care so much that when I see things going on where it's like, it's not making sense, it kind of killed my drive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of want to speak on how you kind of got over it and things of that nature. What
Yeah.
with everything.
Yeah. I've done a lot of trial and error. Like, I'm not a people shooter. Kind of like what we were talking about before. One of the main reasons I really like photography is because I look at it like a sport, and I look at it like a solo sport. I like being culpable for my wins and my losses, and I don't want to blame anybody else. So I don't like shooting with anybody else. It's nothing against anyone else. It's just that when I'm out here, this is my time. I'm working. If I'm going to share it with you, then I'd rather just like hang out for a couple of hours, talk about photos, and be like, okay, cool, this was great. I'm gonna go clock in. I'm gonna walk around and do my thing.
I don't want to cut you off. I promise. Hey guys, I'm sorry, but because you had said about everyone's gonna get the same picture.
Yeah.
You know, we're all gonna go put the sticks up, shoot the same fucking cathedral each time,
Yeah.
and whatever, which is so fucking true. I think that's why I don't shoot concerts. Because everyone's gonna have the same picture of
Yeah, man.
Travis
Like
Scott.
I've done that shit. You're in the pit with 60 other peoples, and everyone's got Sony AR3Rs or whatever they are, just spray painting.
Yeah.
Everyone's fighting for that middle shot, this one,
Yeah, exactly. With the flames.
and I just kind of fell out of love with it, and I was like, this is just not for me. And that is like a food chain, you know. That's like that is a food chain, man. Like, you gotta have this like cutthroat shit when you're there, and because anyone who's in the pit is shooting is trying to get out of that pit and on tour,
Facts.
right?
Facts.
And there's a very limited amount of artists. I mean, there's a lot of artists out there, but there's really like maybe 100 that are doing real tours where they can afford to pay you. Here's $50,000 plus accommodations, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
You know, video, whatever. You know, like there's not a lot of those.
Usually standing next to the person that's actually on the tour with the person.
Yeah.
And,
And what they're paying you is like, well, we're gonna cover your airfare, bus fare, and food.
And
So in 3 months, you're gonna go home with $0, but you'll get the experience.
yeah, you could say, I feel like that's the only field that the experience doesn't matter in.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, yeah, you can shoot a show, but so can all 15 of these people in this pit that fought tooth and nail for a media pass. You know what
And the
I'm saying?
problem is some of those photos that are really great or go viral are from the fucking crowd on a goddamn iPhone. They look just as good. They look just as good. Because at the end of the day, it's all just going back onto a phone. So whether or not yours is 46 megapixels, it don't matter. Because when it's on Instagram, it's 1. And when they're shooting it from the crowd, it's 1. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not having gallery shows with it, you know? And yeah, I tried it, man. It was just not for me. I was like, man, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a really tough business, man. Like, there are dudes out there. Like, I'm a big Suicide Boys fan, and there's a dude.
I bet. It makes sense.
What the fuck does that mean?
You're
Oh, because I'm
from
from
New
New Orleans?
Orleans.
Yeah. I was about to say, what the fuck, because I'm white? And there's a dude who shot with him for years. His name is Max something. I wish I could remember his last name, but did such a great job, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say is, like, people shooting, I'm not good at.
Yeah.
I'm simply not good at. And I think it's because and as awful as this is, even just verbally say out loud, I'm not very good with people. Like, I do shoot with people from time to time, and usually they're friends. And if it's like, okay, do you want to shoot? I have 20 ideas, and we're going to do only my ideas, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
I
facts.
don't want to do like, okay, let's like workshop this idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that with you.
Yeah, exactly.
You do what I want to do. I have these ideas, and I'm not good at it, dude.
Yeah. No.
And I've noticed I'm better with guys and not women. Yeah.
I'm the
Pause.
Yeah.
Right.
Pause.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
bro.
right.
I was about to say, I'm like, you gonna say it, or I'm gonna
like
say it.
you
You
go,
know what I mean?
That was
You
a
gonna
heavy.
say it?
That was
You know what I mean?
a throaty whom.
We are not. Hey man, you gotta play the game. But no,
Well,
I'm the opposite.
Okay. Okay. You tell me your reason. So you feel like you're the opposite. You feel like you're better at shooting women.
I'm better at shooting women. And
Okay, but why?
I think
Like at its core, why do you think you're better at shooting women?
it's a little bit more challenging.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. But why do you think so?
It's just, you gotta get my right face. Did I do this? How's my hair? How's my legs? Do I look fat? Do I look this?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
idea of like of how perfect can the photo be?
Yeah.
And I feel like shooting women is almost the hardest thing you could do.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can shoot a window.
That's fucking true, man.
And because I feel like a guy doesn't really care as long as he looks maybe
Good enough.
tall or good enough.
Yeah, right.
Or
Catch me. Yeah. Yeah.
like,
No. I
but
think
a girl is like, oh, I need to be shot on this side, and then I don't like the way these pants fit, so like how should I put my legs? What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Or like, oh,
Dude,
my
that
nails.
side shit is like a very real thing. I don't.
You shoot a girl at in between a 45-degree angle. That's the best fucking angle on earth. It sounds crazy.
Really? I don't even know what 45
So,
degrees.
like,
So
if you look,
like, let's say you're the girl, right? Okay, let's say I'm the girl.
Listen.
All right. So you're gonna stand.
I would sit here. I would shoot into
So
to,
not. I see.
No, not the size.
Oh yeah,
and
because
not-
90 would be.
Yeah, and not super frontal because
Gotcha.
a lot of
Oh,
girls
like
don't.
here.
And this is no.
Why
Please.
the fuck do you put the camera here? So I look flat. Now is my bad.
No, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. You get somebody like they don't like their profile,
Right.
or they
right.
don't like this, so you kind of split the difference.
Yeah.
And then like with the leg thing too, like if
I
they
feel you.
cross their leg this way, they're thicker. They cross it this way, they're
Yeah,
skinnier. So
yeah.
that whole thing. But it's like I feel like it's so hard
Yeah.
to shoot a girl, especially if you,
Women are hard to please, dude.
period, point blank. But hey,
They're worth it.
yeah, they are. I'm
No,
with it. Yeah, exactly.
no, it's a good answer, man. That's,
Oh yeah, but what's yours?
I'm about to sound so suspect. Mine is this. Mine is like yourself. I've shot both, right? And in post or just in after the fact or after the thought, it's taken me a few years to really realize this, is that you're right. Women are more, let's say, constructive over how they want themselves to appear.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, and everybody's like that. I
Yeah,
mean, women
to
more
a-
so for
to an
sure.
extent, yeah.
Women definitely more so, of course. But
They're just more. They're more aware.
more
of their
cognizant
flaws.
of
their
exactly.
flaws.
Yeah,
and
men are
stuff
like,
that.
I don't know, I didn't shave, line it up, so this, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But the short answer is that, and this sounds so fucking maybe contrived as shit, but you keep, I feel like you're agreeing, yeah, that shit does sound
No,
contrived. I feel like you're
I'm such a
agreeing. You're supposed to be like, no, I don't.
It
No,
doesn't.
go. It
No,
doesn't sound.
because it doesn't.
I know, but the whom is like, you're basically saying.
Don't bleed it. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to my because I'm like I don't know, like like one of those ticks. I think is a tick for me.
Okay.
Like
Because when you do it sounds like you're saying, yeah.
think
It sounds like you're saying,
more of
yeah, no, that sounds contrived as
it's like a
fuck.
question mark. Like, what is he gonna say? Okay, what is he gonna say? So
No, I'm just fucking with
yeah,
you.
you're
Okay.
fucking hilarious.
So, as far as okay, so the short answer is with men. Like I kind of see a picture, right? Is rectangle, square.
Yes.
Men to me are square. They're boxy. This box, everything's hairy shadows box, squares. Everything is a box. Like we are square. Women are softer, smaller, rounder. And the world is a square world. Everything is square.
Yeah.
Like
Everything
rooms,
is square,
the,
yeah,
the
you
corners. Oh, go stand in the corner. Well, the corner is square. So it takes a very talented person to be able to place women or men in certain areas and make it feel natural.
Yeah.
I don't have that talent. So when I'm shooting with women, I get very frustrated because I'm trying to place a circle into a square, and it doesn't want to go in. It's like
I've never thought of that.
it doesn't fit. But with
Yeah.
men, I'm like, move this down. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, down. Like here, yeah, that's good. Chin here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm a square. The wall is a square. Everything's squared.
I've never thought
So
of
in my
it like that.
head, it fits. It clicks. I'm like, okay, good. Square on square. It fits in. And there's some people who they work on the other side of their brain where maybe they're either better with fitting circle into a square or peg into a square, whatever it would be. Or maybe, and then there's some people who are just good at both. There's some people who are really fucking good at just shooting people.
No, literally.
And they're just like, it doesn't matter. We're in a hotel room. We got, Brie Larson? Cool. Sit her on the bed like that. Boom, got it. And you're like, oh my God, that would have taken me 2 fucking hours of workshopping in this hotel room just to get that one photo, and you got it in 2 seconds.
Shot in the hotel room
They
too,
just
so I
know.
definitely feel you.
They just know. There's just some people that are really good at it. And, like, I think being good at anything is knowing your faults. And, like, that's one thing with me. It's like, and I'm not even saying I'm good at shooting guys. Because I'm really not. I don't really shoot guys very much. But if I am shooting people, I tend to lean towards shooting men.
Yeah.
you know.
No, I get you.
And I'm also curt. Like how I am just in general is very blunt and off-putting, I should say. And so
I get you.
it's sometimes like meeting a woman for the first time, being like, all right, cool, so we're gonna do this. Or like, this dude's abrasive.
Yeah,
A lot of guys are like, all right, cool, like let's get this shit fucking done.
that fucking car shit was way funnier than it should have been. That
The what? Car shit?
Talking about the cars and fucking people, how people fucking shoot car covers.
I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah, that shit is-
like, with
that's
that
like-
shit. I mean, with the cars. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that shit is fucking insane. But no, but to piggyback, no, I get you. And I mean, I think everyone has their strengths, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, and it's not the idea of like, you know, try everything once. You know what I'm saying? If it works, it works. If not, you know, you understand. But you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know what's gonna work and what has worked. And then like, you know, but I've never in my life ever thought about everything being a square, and it is a fucking square.
Yeah, man. I'm just not very good at. I'm just not very good at it, dude. Like I know we've kind of built. Like I'm just not a photographer like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I've tried to kind of fill that role, and I just haven't. I don't really know what that is. Like what the fuck even is that?
Yeah.
Like is like a photographer like. How about I'll describe it, what I think it is, right? And I've done this a few times, and people seem to not like it, so we'll do it again. Is a photographer to me is like a very coveted title that I do not want to ever fucking give myself. I just don't. It's not up to me to decide whether or not I am a photographer. It is just not.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like gray areas with things. And I kind of draw the line at that. Like if someone wants to call me that, I'm flattered. That's really great. But just not something that I ever want to call myself, because that is the goal.
Yeah,
right?
that's the
The
goal.
goal is to one day be called a photographer and to live in infamy with the other big ones, right? Who win a grand? Who name them, right? There's 100 of them that have come before us.
Yeah.
And those guys, if you Google top 50 best photographers, they come up. My name is not in there. It's not in there because I'm not fucking one of them. So I don't want to ever insult them by saying, well, I'm just like you. I'm a photographer just like you. No, the fuck you're not. I dedicated 70 years of my life, all my money, 2 marriages, 1 kid that I haven't talked to in 30 years, so I could be this. What the fuck have you done?
Yeah.
Oh, you started an Instagram page. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, I guess you're a fucking photographer.
Yeah.
No, I'm fucking not. Like, if people want to call me that's more than fine. Like, again, like, I'm really flattered, but it's just not. I don't ever want to give. It's like giving yourself your own nickname. Oh, call me Snake.
Yeah.
Call me Snake from now on. Like, bro, no one's gonna fucking call you Snake. No one's gonna call you that. Why the fuck will we call you that? Why are we gonna call you that?
Nothing to
You know, like, why? It's just ridiculous. Like, you don't give yourself your own nickname. It's just the people do. Like, resoundingly. Like, maybe after you die, posthumously, maybe towards the end of your life, maybe even now, which is cool. But it gives you something to strive towards. It's like, oh, I'm a photographer? That's what I am. I am a photographer. Cool. Well, then I don't even need to take photos anymore because I've already reached. That is the ultimate goal. There is no other. The main goal of becoming a good photographer, a great photographer, is being in that list of great photographers.
Yeah.
And I'm not in that list.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to force myself into any whatever list. Not that lists even fucking matter, but they kind of do. They kind of do.
They do in the end.
They do in the end. And like that's why I look at photography like a sport, because they do. You know, like I'm a big sports fan, but like I don't know, man. That's why. Like I don't put a lot of thought into it. I don't really care. Like, I don't care about titles and all that stuff. Like, after I'm dead, then give me the title and be like, man, that guy was a great photographer. Yeah. And then I'll look up from hell and be like, oh, fucking right, dog. Like, I salute, bro.
Because my whole life, I just track people down. It's
like, yeah, I mean, like, I just...
That was funny as fuck.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons why. It gives me something to constantly work towards.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to just give it to myself. That seems crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the first one that I kind of remotely agree with. I mean, I don't think I think a lot of people are picture takers. Like, you know what I mean? Like all those funny words.
Like me.
I think, yeah, everyone takes pictures, but I do think there is a it's kind of like the idea of people going to community college and going to a university. Community college, you might not stay with it. You might go for a couple classes and leave. If you're in a university, you paid for it, the debt is there. Now it's time to work towards something. I feel like we're all in like this university.
Yeah.
Like if everyone that's spent because I mean even some people won't spend the $300. I mean that's not they won't.
Yeah.
So I feel like after the debt is made, and you're working towards it, you're taking jobs, you're staying up all night, watching fucking the art of direction fucking shows all night, trying to figure out what the fuck an f-stop is and this, that, and the third, and why it matters. I think at that point, you're kind of in the class, like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I see everything.
Yeah.
Is that, and then you have good people, you have bad people, you have mediocre people, all within the class. It makes the ecosystem. Yeah. I think. And that's kind of where I see it. But I do see that end goal of saying, like, hey, that was a great fucking photographer. As a photographer, I would like to da-da-da-da-da. Like, you know, I think that's encompasses the end goal. And hopefully you're alive to... you know what I'm saying? To be able to at least get the handshake or the pat on the back for the, 3 divorces, 1 kid that you haven't seen in 40 years, and the cat that you share an apartment with, But I understand it, but it's the same idea. I feel like with anything that can be professional, and I do think it might be more of a chip on your shoulder if you were to say, I'm a professional photographer.
Right, like, but like anything.
A professional anything. I do.
Like, isn't it odd?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like you can't really.
Like I said, the nickname, like
it's a nickname, and it's like, but I mean, I think that's what when people, I don't know. That's why I think I'm very bad at taking compliments. Like,
I'm the worst. I fucking hate it. It's the worst. I am a piece of garbage.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna I feel like you the best. I try. Yeah. People always get on me for saying I try. So yeah, I try. I give it my all. And hopefully at some point is good enough. But I think we all feel like that. The goal here is to not let our heads get so big that we can't see the sun. You know what I mean? Or we block the sun in a sense. Yeah. But there's the other side of that coin is where you get your head you don't let your head get big at all, and you're only in the shadows. Yeah. Like there's a very fine line. No, you tread it. Yeah. Yeah. But I think in its same hand, it's more up to us than anything else. Because even when people, and this might also be a sickness of me living in LA and stuff like that, I don't believe when people say, "Oh, I like this picture. I don't hear it. Because I think to me, I can't, because it's like, again, it's that goal. Mm-hmm. I want everyone to like my pictures. I want to have a gallery so everyone can see it. But then at that point, I don't know if it's fueling me or it's for the art. And then it's the same idea where I wouldn't sell prints. Like we were speaking about. I wouldn't do it just because it's cool, man. Like it's not about money to me. Yeah. I do way too much for free for it to be about money for me. So it's like. But I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I was gonna say there's a third part to that where there's a lot of people who do it for ego as well. Like we both know. I mean, I'm not supposed to fucking drop names here, but like you and I probably both know people in our own worlds that do it for clout or ego or whatever it may be, where they're solely chasing this idea of like popularity, like Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, whatever it may be. It feels like high school where there's like cool kids and wannabes and failure, whatever, people making bullshit. And it's a very weird, like social media has made things very
odd, but at the same time, like I really do like it. Like I owe a lot to it. I've met a lot of really cool people. I mean, like you and I connected over social media, like wouldn't have happened, you know. But yo, if Instagram's watching right now, yo, we're looking to sponsor this.
I'm with it, man. Come on, let's make it make sense. Come on. What's it? I can't remember the nigga name that owns it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like Mosseri, that dude.
It's the Facebook dude. I thought.
No, that's.
They own Facebook.
What's that? The dude is sitting there like this,
yeah,
like the guy
robot.
on, like, desk.
The robot.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
But yeah, no, yeah,
Anyway.
you're right though. No, we do owe a lot to it because I mean it's just a way for for that. The instant gratification has killed a lot of shit for people, and I feel like it's released so much dopamine that people are just kind of cracked out needing it. In a sense. But it's like I don't know, like. I don't think I think things have been done so much that like a single photo is not going to propel you into the stars like things have before, where when it was new. And
I agree.
So I'm a person where I take a fuck ton of pictures, but I might post one or two, every.
Well, let me ask you: do you believe in the afterlife? Do you believe like that we go somewhere potentially afterwards?
Hopefully.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. Hopefully, but like, do you believe that?
Okay. Folks, yeah.
So, I entertain the thought of that.
Yeah.
And I think I do it as a crutch from time to time because the type of the fucking street photography that I take, street photography in general is just. It's like a bookmark of time, right? I mean, that's all it is. Because we look back at photos from the 70s, we're like, oh my God, look, they were wearing fucking bell bottoms. They look like idiots. Like, look what they're wearing. Look at his hair. And, we place that time. Like, everyone's seen photos from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And I like to think that the photos that I'm taking in 20 years or 30 years, 40 years, like 50 years, once I'm not even alive anymore, those people who are 20 and 50 years will look at mine and go, oh my God, wow, look at that. Like, I remember when Hollywood Boulevard, I remember when the stars were on the ground. Now they're under plexiglass and they're moved to Netflix land or whatever, and now this doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
Like, so there's a very, very plausible...
2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Let me... Hey, nigga, go back in the car.
Wait, is that a FaceTime? Bro, you're a...
Yeah, exactly. Go back in the car. I'm not done yet. Give me like 2 seconds. I got you, folks. No, I have somebody that...
It's all good.
Anyway, yeah. This on FaceTime? Yo, I'm just getting all types of fucking bad... But no, yeah, no.
I think that photos really place the time. And I think there's a very, very big chance that anybody who their endeavor is to do street photography, that... Your chances of achieving any kind of street photography fame are almost zero while you're alive. Yeah. But I think if you're really good while you're alive, the chances of them echoing throughout fucking eons is huge. Yeah. It's just a matter of like, well, do you want like clout and likes and followers and shit now? Like if that's important to you, that's fine. That's fine. But if maybe you believe in the afterlife, maybe you're in heaven and you can look down and you go, wow, man, that's really fucking cool. Like, all that fucking hard work that I put into, look, now it's in some textbooks and schools. Exactly. Like, people are looking at it like, wow, this is Hollywood Boulevard, Yeah,
exactly.
I think that is a very real possibility. So I'm comfortable with the fact of my photos, like, people like them now, which I'm really incredibly thankful for, but... More so, I hope that in 100 years, at least one or two survive somewhere to where it's like a bookmark of what this area looked like. Yeah. And then my name is like real little underneath it.
Real
like,
small?
Yeah.
In italics?
Yeah, and someone drives like a dick under it or something in like 8th period, exactly, like a fucking boner next to my name.
Give you a fuck, just vandalize you. Like,
yeah, dude, dude,
not saying.
Any kids right now that are 2 years old, just feel free to vandalize my name with dicks.
Like, it'll be in there.
I'll be honored, dude.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's I mean, look, man, I think of right now, especially with, because I do have to wrap this up, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's all good. How long's it been? How long have we been doing this for?
It's an hour and like 30 minutes.
Damn.
It's a good. This is a great episode, guys.
I gotta watch Pulp Fiction.
I love that movie.
But yeah,
yeah, so no, I will say. I mean, as in LA, there isn't street photography. I don't. At least if there is, I'm just gonna say it. This isn't shade to anybody because I don't know a lot of street photographers that actually are street photographers out here. It's not doing it. There's no. You can't. It's just not. It's not resonating. You know what I mean? You're probably the only one that anyone has probably run into.
Thanks. Man. No, that's awesome.
And,
I appreciate that.
And anyone that's and because you're it's outside the box. It's not rooted in thievery. It's rooted in like purpose. And
can I just say that as like one of the best compliments I've ever gotten?
Hey man,
that's that's like really fucking nice of you to say, dude.
It's
I really appreciate that.
It's honest. I mean, without if you've seen your work, which y'all should Instagrams in the bio, seeing the work and what it is, it's like wow, like this, and especially because I live around here, so I'm like I get to see. Like, oh, this is there. Like, that's interesting. And then, like, even talk about how you, like, you did the wait, and you'll wait and come back and do stuff like that. Where it's like, this is what photography might actually be about. And even though I'm not in the same league, I understand. I mean league. I mean not league. I mean like path as far as like.
Oh yeah. Like what you're.
I'm like it's still like wow, like. I can learn so much from this because sometimes it's I'm in the same predicament.
Sure.
And so I mean, it's not to go overboard, but I feel like you definitely ascended whatever mountain it needs to be ascended, and obviously the work is still not done, but we're working towards things. I know the book's not going to come till you retire. So
I think I'm gonna do it sooner, man. I really do. I think
so.
I want to.
If you really do. If you do, trust me. Whatever it is,
I really do.
I'll have the money for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got you. So, but any last words before we spin out of here?
Oh man, you know what? Everybody vote for
that would be a crazy turn of events.
Just like rip my shirt open.
That'd be crazy as fuck.
That would honestly be really crazy.
I would be in tears. I wouldn't be able to hold it back. I ain't gonna lie. But
pull out my MAGA hat.
Is it?
No, man. I want to say thanks for having me, man. It's always fun, like chopping it up. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, like we kind of talked. You know what I mean? Like anyone's interested in photography, like I get a lot of messages. A lot of people message me things, just advice and things like that. And I'm figuring it out too, dude.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm always going to be figuring it out. I don't have anything worked out. People are like, what camera, what lens? I don't know, man. It changes all the time.
Yeah.
I like 28 sometimes, I like 35, depends.
Yeah.
Film stock, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I steal film constantly. I don't give a shit.
How do you steal
steal film from CVS, Walgreens.
You don't say that on here.
Fuck Walgreens, dog. I don't give a fuck. $40 for 3 rolls of Fuji Superior 400? No. Steal it. Steal it. I don't care. If you got to steal film so you can afford to develop it, jack that shit. So I guess that's my final words. Just steal it if you gotta. Oh, shit. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of Life and Times.
Bow. Also, all his stuff in the description, go check it out. That was funny as fuck. We out of here.
Yeah.
This is Glow Gang on Phone M Radio.
Hey, I used to be little dog, before I turned to big dog. I got niggas fake, man. I ain't never pissed off, pulling up tris coffee. I'm smoking cookie, I'm smoking biscuits.